Hello all, welcome to another tutorial on mindsDB. In this tutorial, we'll be looking at how we can predict car prices using mindsDB. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's get started right away. I have logged on to mindsDB.com. I'll go ahead and click on get started. It will log me in. So the first step would be to upload a data set or a data source. So I am using a car's data, obviously for the purpose of this demo. I have already added it in the form of files. So what I've done is I'll quickly go ahead and show you. I have selected this CSV file that I have on my desktop. I've named it as cars and I have uploaded it. So I'll not go ahead and duplicate that step. I'll go back to my console just in case you want to access the same dataset. So it's available on Kaggle under the name of Superstore Sales Dataset. It has around 300 entries, and the columns or the data points are all relevant to car prices, the number of kilometers, the model name, the year of manufacture, and all that stuff. We'll just have a look at it once we run our queries in our console, right? So the first step would be to just have a raw look at what our dataset looks like, right? So we'll go ahead and do run a select query, right? So I'll go ahead and expand this, and we have our car names in the first column, the year of manufacture in the second, we have selling price and the present price, the number of kilometers it's driven, the fuel type, and some other columns as well, right? So there is a lot of insights that you might want to look before performing your first predictor. A quick way of getting good insights about your dataset is through this Data Insights tab. You can go ahead and click it. I'm not going to go into much detail, but you can definitely go ahead and explore it to know more about your dataset. How skewed, unskewed, what parameters you should consider to form your predictor query. All that can be sort of helped out by this data insights tab. So I'll go ahead and uncheck that. Now that we have seen how and what briefly our dataset looks like, we have around 300 rows of data. We'll go ahead and create a select query. This select query would be forming the base of the model that mindsDB would create its predictor on. You will sort of understand it once we get ahead. So what select query are we going to create for predicting the sale price, right? So this is the query that I have created roughly from this data set. So it is a simple select query. As you can see, we have select followed by the car name. I have taken into account the number of kilometers it's driven, the present price, the selling type, the transmission, as well as the year of manufacture. So if I go ahead and run this, it will shorten the view of the dataset to just these 6 columns. Now these 6 columns are what I'm feeding the model to predict the current price or the selling price of a certain car, right? Now the next step would obviously be to create our predictor. Before I go ahead and create and run a predictor over here, I'll go ahead to the documentation and I'll just give you a brief overview of how the syntax is created when we create a new predictor. So we have the create keyword followed by the predictor keyword, and then we have mindsDB dot the name that you would be giving the predictor, followed by the integration name. Now, integration name essentially refers to the data source. In our case, we have uploaded a data set in the form of files, so it would be files. If you have uploaded your data set for, if you have uploaded your data set from a live database, uh, for example, like Postgres, then you can go ahead and give that here. And then in brackets, we'll have the select query that we just ran. So the select query that we are feeding to our model, essentially. And then we have the predict keyword and the target column. So the target column would be what we are looking to get out of the predictor. So we are feeding in cars data right now, and we are expecting it to give us the current value of the car. So I'll go ahead and create the predictor using the select query that we have already created. I'll go ahead and remove this and paste a predictor query. So what do we have here? We have create predictor mindsDB.sales price car. Now I have named the predictor as sale price car and followed by from files. So files is our data source, and then we have the select query that we just ran in the previous step, and what we are predicting is the selling price, right? So I'll go ahead and run this. Okay, so we have I guess we have a name conflict. Okay, I guess we have already created a model by this name, so I'll go ahead and append an S in the end and rerun this query. And there you go. So we have our first predictor created, and it's up and running, ready to predict any parameters that you throw at it, right? So I'll go ahead and copy the select query that we'll be using for predicting car prices. The query essentially would look something like this. So we have select followed by the selling price confidence. So this would give the model accuracy in a sense. And then we have explain, which would give us few other details that we'll be looking once this query is run. From we have the name of the predictor, and in the where clause we have given certain parameters where we have the car name, year, and the kilometers, as well as the present price. So if I go ahead and run this, so we get 83% accuracy. So that is the confidence level of the current model, and the predicted value of a Fortuner that has been manufactured in 2016, that is driven 10,000 kilometers with a present price of close to 35 lakhs, is 22 lakhs according to this model, and that is essentially visible from here. So these are two very important things that decide that your model has sort of predicted for you. Now I can go ahead and change any parameter. I'll say for like I change it to Ritz, and I'd say model number 2017, and suppose it's driven like 9,000 odd kilometers, and its present price is say like 8 lakhs. If I go ahead and run this, so what do we have? We have again 83% as the accuracy, and we have a predicted value of 5.3 lakhs for the Ritz that was manufactured in 2017 and which was driven 9,000 kilometers. Um, so this is a quick way of how you can perform predictions um, based on the data that you feed to mindsDB. So essentially, what you are seeing here is that once you upload a data set, you don't have to you don't have to worry about training your model. You don't have to worry about cleaning your data set. You don't have to worry about performing feature engineering. All of that is done via mindsDB, and that is how the magic happens. So this is all I had for this demo. Thank you for watching.